Hi, Princess. So you're now 2 weeks old, 10 ounces higher than last week. You have gained an inch in height and an inch in your head. You are very large now. Yeah, you see yourself? You are so cute. You're only naked because your belly button's coming off, if I can show it. But I can't believe you can already hold your head up by yourself. And you are partially rolling all the way. But I thought I would tell you my pregnancy and birthing story so you have something to think about when you start thinking of having a baby, my grandbaby, because, it's good to know what your parents went through so you can kind of expect something similar. Overall, the pregnancy really wasn't bad. We didn't have any morning sickness. The first trimester, we didn't sleep or eat much. Second trimester was a breeze, other than having to get iron infusions. I had to go through 5 days of iron infusions where they pumped me full of iron because my iron was low. It didn't help much. You were literally sucking all the energy, all the iron, all of everything out of me. By the end of the pregnancy, I gained 35 pounds. We ended at 195 pounds before I was sent. And I liked dairy a lot. Ice cream every night, bowls of cereal all morning, and for dessert. Dairy was my best friend. And I'm not supposed to have dairy because of Crohn's, but you made Crohn's go into remission, which was probably my favorite part of pregnancy. There was no Crohn's, so I could eat whatever I wanted. Crohn's is back now, of course. But other than the iron infusions, I was healthy most of the time until about the third trimester. I got high blood pressure, and I was on the verge for pre-eclampsia. I had to do a 24-hour urine test, and I got 288 milliliters of the protein they were looking for, and they look for 300, so I was right there on the cusp. So when I went in for my 38-week appointment, when they saw that I was so close to the preeclampsia and I had blood pressure again, the high blood pressure, they decided that it was time for us to induce to make sure you were healthy and I was healthy. I was scared, but I was excited. Turns out, inducing does not mean that I'm going to have you by the end of the day. Inducing can take very, very long. We weren't dilated at all when we went in, and we weren't dilated at all when you came out. We went in and they gave me strips. It's a strip that they put on my cervix to try to relax the cervix to open. Once the cervix opens and dilates, then we can try to get you out. Those strips go in for 12 hours. I had to get 2 of them. Neither worked. So we also tried something called Pitocin. We did 3 hours of Pitocin, which is something that goes through your IV to try to get contractions going and stronger so that you could try to break the wall yourself. That didn't work. I was having contractions every 2 to 3 minutes. They weren't strong. I didn't feel them most of the time. But no, they didn't work. And then we decided to try this pill that they stick up inside me to try to relax my cervix. It's a lot stronger than the strips were. That didn't work. So it was about 54 hours when we tried all of that. 54 hours. And he asked if we wanted... Ooh, come on. You see your little precious face? Yeah, you want it? Do you want it? Um, After 54 hours, he gave me an option because I was exhausted. I had not slept that whole 3 days in the hospital. Your dad got some sleep because, he didn't have to wake up every couple of minutes for a doctor. Um, but he said we can try another one of the pills, which is another 4 hours. We can try 12 hours of Pitocin. So 12 hours of Pitocin, again, it's to try to increase my contractions. Look at you, you passed out. Oh my goodness, I love you so much. 12 hours of just trying to get my contractions as strong as possible to get you out. Well, they would have to come in every couple of hours and check for my dilation. The pelvic exams hurt a lot. A lot. And after 3 days of having them check me and getting nowhere, I was really exhausted. And they said that the Pitocin could increase my risk of a postpartum rupture and put me in danger after you came out. So I decided we were going to go to a C-section. So after 56 hours, they wheeled me back for a C-section, and I was really scared. It was nothing like I expected. They gave me the shot in my back, which I didn't even feel it. It was not as bad as I expected. And I hate shots. Hate shots. But it was just a little pinch, and I was very amazed. And then my whole body went numb. They laid me down, and when I was laying down, I looked up, and there was a mirror. Lights, like they were like the overhead lights, and they had a mirror on the lights, and I could see my belly. I said, "You need to move that." I said, "I cannot see what y'all are doing down there. I will freak out." So they moved it for me, thankfully. They put the strip up and they did the test. They said, "Test." And I don't know what they did, but it scared the crap out of me, because what if the test didn't work? Were they slicing me? Were they jabbing me? Luckily, the test worked, and I couldn't feel anything, because Mommy would have panicked. Then they brought Daddy in, and the whole time I focused on Daddy. I said, "Listen, you have to distract me. I cannot think about what they're doing over there. The sheets in front of me, I just cannot think of what they're doing." I kept shaking, not from nerves, but, well, it might have been from nerves, but I just kept shaking and fidgeting and freaking out. And I asked the doctor, I said, "What happens if I pass out?" He said, "Nothing, we're going to keep going." So it made me feel a little better that even if I passed out, nothing was going to stop. So we continued, and they put pressure, and because you weren't dropped fully, they had to push you down. And it felt like so much pressure. And I felt it in my chest, and I felt like I couldn't breathe. But as soon as you came out, and I heard your cry, I couldn't believe it. You were my baby, and you were out of me. And I looked at your dad, and he was crying, and we were both crying because you were out. You were here. You were here. You're our baby. And it was just so amazing. And then Daddy went over and cut your umbilical cord, and they brought you to my chest, and one of your eyes wouldn't open. It was just swollen, but you were totally fine. You had 10 fingers, 10 toes. You had a perfectly shaped head. You got the little nose. You were perfect. Then they took you away from me, and Daddy left, and I had to sit there by myself while they sewed me up, and I couldn't think about what they were doing, so I just sat there and sung. I sung Gangster's Paradise to calm myself down before I got to see you. And when I saw you, just everything went away. The pregnancy, the pain, all of it. I don't plan to get pregnant again soon because my body needs to regenerate. I got the giant incision on my belly, and you keep us up a few nights, but overall, I'm glad I went through what I went through. I'm pretty sure it was the worst of the worst with the best, results still. But I'm glad you're here now. And hopefully I'll be around for when you do decide to get pregnant so I can answer any questions. Because like I said, it was like the worst of the worst with the best results still. But I love you so much, Princess. And I hope this story helped you a little. Remember, I gained a lot of weight. Did I say 35 pounds? I gained 65 pounds. I was 130 pounds before. I ended at 195 pounds. So 65 pounds. If you gain that much weight, it's okay. Because I'm actually getting thin again. Just a little. But I love you so much. And here's your precious face. Yeah. You always look drunk, just so you know. Always. I love you so much, Princess. Bye.